Hello, my name is Professor Don Haley of Tidewater Community College. I teach criminal justice there. This is a series that we're doing for some of our students to hopefully advance them and get them where they need to be in their careers. Look, I hope life's treating you well and everything's going great and peace be with you. I want to start off by saying if we think that education is expensive, we should really look and analyze the results of what ignorance can bring to our life. My question to you, I have several. One is, where do we want to be in 5 years in our career? Number two, what is that going to look like? Three, what new skills are we going to have to acquire in order to be able to compete in our career market? What challenges will we have to overcome? For some of us, that picture's crystal clear. For others, it can be a little hazy. No matter where we are on that journey, there's one thing that is universally true for every single one of us. The professional world is in a constant motion. With the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence, AI everywhere, right? The skills that are valuable today may not be sufficient for tomorrow. This isn't a threat. I'm not trying to get anybody freaked out. I don't look at things like a new technology as a threat. I look at them as tremendous opportunities. This is why professional development isn't just nice to have. It's a must have, in my opinion. It's not about doing more work. It's about investing in ourselves so that we can later equip others and invest in them. Think about it like this. If you had a talent, raw skill, just born with one, right? Would you simply leave it unpolished? Of course not. My daughter is an amazing singer. And she has to constantly stay up to par. She seeks to get better every single day. She writes and writes her songs over and over. She's fulfilling her dream. And at the same time, what she's doing is she's polishing her skills. She is sharpening her axe. In the words of Stephen King, that crazy kind of producer guy, yeah, he's done some real horror flicks. He said this, though: talent is cheaper than table salt. He said, what separates the talented individual from the successful one is hard work. Professional development is that hard work. It is polishing, it's refining, it's strengthening our natural abilities, our strengths. So how do we transform that potential into reality? Well, let's make it real simple. First, we embrace the discomfort of new challenges. Learning can be awkward. Awkwardness can be a barrier to learning. We can't let it be that for us. It's easy to stay in a comfort zone. But Michael John Babcock made this statement. It's a great quote. He said, all progress takes place outside of the comfort zone. Man, that's so powerful. I remember I was talking in the last video about where I met Dabo Sweeney. He said, always take the stairs, never take the elevator. I told you the path of least resistance never leads to the road to success. I tell all my football players that. When you take on a new course or ask for new responsibilities in our career, or we find a mentor, you're not just expanding your resume, you're expanding your mind, okay? Second, learn for the sake of learning. Don't just learn for the paycheck, because the paycheck's never enough. While professional development can absolutely increase our earning potential and open doors, the greatest reward, in my opinion, should be the knowledge itself. We get that knowledge, we utilize these tools, we can add value to other people's lives. As the Roman philosopher Seneca famously stated, he said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Our ongoing learning is the preparation, and it's what will enable us to seize the opportunities that come our way. And finally, remember that we are the driver's seat. We're in the driver's seat in our own career. All right. We can wait for opportunity to knock, or we can build that door ourselves. I like to go build that door. Take ownership of our growth. Create a plan. Talk to our leaders. And use the resource available to us. Let's invest in ourselves so we can equip others. So let's stop thinking of learning as a chore and start viewing it as the greatest investment that we can make. The world is changing, and we have a choice. Stay still, be left behind, or we can lean in and lead the way. I'm going to give you this quote from Mahatma Gandhi. He said, the future depends on what you do today. I told my daughter, she said, should I continue, seeking this dream? She's 21 of music. I said, Danny, when you're writing the story of your life, you don't let nobody else hold the pen. And I'm going to try, I respectfully give you that same advice. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.